easy for ENCE. Time to head on over to our casters, and we've got two of the best, the Irish-American connection of MOUZ and dycha.
Thank you very much, Paul. Not quite the Swiss connection we've seen from Maniac today, but I'm excited for this one. ENCE versus Guild Eagles. Now, Guild Eagles are always a treat to watch when RMRs kick off. We don't see them too often play on LAN, but when they do, it's often solid.
Yeah, pretty much the only times we really get to see them is at these RMRs.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. It's just struggles to qualify through various things. Yeah, this is, I think because of that and because ENCE is still such a new team, this is one of those series and this is one of those matchups where I feel like you just throw all the numbers and all the history out because it's like, we don't know what we're going to get.
Yeah, we have absolutely no idea what we're going to get overall, but we know exactly what we're going to get here in the pistol. It's ENCE going for a B split through dark quickly. Mid dropping through the window into the water, and the B pounce has worked out very well here for ENCE. So first 2 kills in. ENCE looking to win their first round of the day.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. A nice little 13-0 to start things out. Kylar put out a tweet that he put some glasses on so that he could get some frags in this game, and it's worked. He's got 1 kill so far, and it's a 1v4 for GXX, so pistol round is going to go to ENCE. I think part of the reason why this feels like so random, too, in my head is I know from speaking with Glaive in Katowice just like a week or two ago, a week and a half ago, you know, kind of asked him like, hey, man, did you expect this success at Katowice? And he was just like, nope, practice didn't go particularly well. Everyone was on different pages. We were still figuring things out. Everything's really chaotic. And I have no idea how we're winning games here in Katowice.
I don't think anybody expected them to do well in Katowice. I mean, Glaive was saying throughout the tournament, he only started to realize how much it really meant for the Polish guys when emotions started coming through and the tears started flowing.
Yeah, when they qualified and dycha broke down.
Yeah, and they made it through to the playoffs. But, you know, the question we had when starting Katowice was how good are ENCE going to be? And even though they made it to the playoffs, I still don't think that question's been fully answered because they get into the playoffs, but the deciding game in the group whether or not they were going to go to quarterfinals or semifinals was very comfortably in favor of MOUZ. And then their playoff game, man, sure it was heartbreaking, but it was against Falcons, who have now proven that they're not exactly the full piece just yet. So still interested to see what level ENCE will be at.
I think realistically, you look at Katowice and you say that's a little bit of a honeymoon event for them.
Yeah.
Hold the phone. We got some aggression. Holding down the trigger while completely blind. Hades is there for some backup, and him and dycha get a full house. 3-2 across them, and it's a 2-0 start for ENCE.
Yeah, we're going to get a buy-in here now for Guild Eagles. First time in the RMR, they're going to be represented by an organization. I mean, that was the main storyline going through a lot of these events, was who is going to sign the Bad News Eagles. Guild have come in and picked them up, and obviously they would have great expectations that they would make it through. Get the sticker in the game and really make the investment into the team pay off. And Guild Eagles have shown that over the recent RMRs they can do it, but starting 0-1 down against MOUZ today is not the position they want to find themselves in. So a good gun round here to start off the CT side would go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, you just think about the meaning of an organization for a team that doesn't get to play and qualify for a whole lot of lands throughout the year. The Major just is that critically important since it's basically all they've got. Flashbangs being set up towards the B bomb site. This will be a split with these MAC-10s coming right through the smokes. They've seen nothing. Good kill from dycha, and now the CTs get forced out into the open, flushed into the hands of Glaive and ENCE, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, first gun round for Guild Eagles is a miss, so they don't only step up to the mark here. And it's a bit of a bonus for ENCE because they had a few SMGs in there that can now be upgraded into M4s, so things have gone very well for ENCE on the T side. Now, we did know that back in Katowice was the T-side prowess from ENCE that we thought was fantastic to watch. I think the CT side was the weaker affair where they would maybe take too many risks and really collapse on the CT side. So
it makes sense. CT side takes a little bit more work to have those things kind of organized in terms of how you move around the map and rotate when your teammates have smokes down and choke points at the different timings that you can try and hit, and that sometimes gets really disorganized. But this is a great start. 3-0. You got to be happy about this.
I think I'd be very happy.
5 kills for Hades in these first 3 rounds. 5 kills for dycha in these first 3 rounds. Those are 2 very important players for the team, so things looking good.
Yeah, it was a good point raised by the desk about some of these players just kind of shaking it off, losing 13-0 to Donk and Spirit. It's something that many people expected, and it was a reality that came through. So
yeah, but that being said, as a competitor, getting 13-0, you never...
But I think it's almost better to lose 13-0 and just laugh it off than bring it so close and find yourself here in the 1-1, or the 0-1 game, rather.
Yeah, potentially. I think every team handles those different scenarios differently, obviously. Well, here's a little bit of utility spent. Good nade onto Goofy. 2 saved M4s, 2 deagles, and a 5-7 on Juan Flatro. This round, ENCE is taking a bit more cautiously as well as they've upgraded off those MAC-10s.
Ooh, Goofy goes to the fight against sinnopsyy, who confidently stands up on that table. It's gonna work out well for him, but sinnopsyy has dropped quite a bit of health, so he realizes he can drop that weapon on over to someone else inside of the site. So OneFlatro gets the upgraded weapon, and sinnopsyy now takes up the double stack outside of A main. ENCE have the bomb currently positioned outside of B. A whole lot of time here for the Poles to figure out where they want to go.
Right, they're not stressed at all. I mean, even though you're a man down, they'd still kind of go through the motions, go through the plan, apply some pressure to the A-bomb site. This AWP is going to have plenty of time to peek in and look for a mistake. Checking for the boost, and a little bit wider, he might see one at the pillow. There's the peek. I said pillow, I meant pillar.
Was a bit of a pillow. Didn't really cause a lot of damage at all. Missed shot from Hades. Now the drift of rotation has come back in, and Glaive senses a timing to get through Temple. Ooh, gets his crosshair back just in time. Good trade from OneFlatro. They spot out one of the rifles again for ENCE. How are they going to react to it? So they're sending the bomb back over to the A-bomb site, and Hades cutting off rotations.
Yeah, this could be really, really good, especially if sinnopsyy, if they encounter anything at the A-bomb site, he might try and make a jump on it. He might try and get there quick without being too cognizant of a lurk over middle, especially from the AWP. Hades, that one he nails.
He does nail that one, sinks the ship, and the attack events, it still worked out very well. So Rigon, not in a position to really compete for this one. Sprinting through the water, making no secret. Didn't grab the weapon on the ground, so has to stay with the Deagle, and dycha will drop him. So not the start that Guild Eagles would have been hoping for, and ENCE looking very comfortable.
Yeah, we're getting into territory where it's time to see a second gun run coming in. If Guild Eagles can bounce back from this, a little bit of a hole that they're put into, timeout taken. That's not a bad round, all things considered, with 2 M4s and 3 pistols. You get 2 kills. You actually put ENCE in a relatively difficult situation. They were at a man disadvantage. Just patient and nice positioning to bail them out of it.
Well, Guild Eagles played against MOUZ in their opening game today. They were 12-8 up on Ancient and failed to close out the game, and they lost in overtime. That could be a very frustrating loss. And we spoke to Devilwalk outside. They seem to have still been in pretty positive spirits about it. You know, they weren't too negative, and I think that's what you kind of need out of your coach. Coming into this game, it seems like a decent enough chance for recovery. Not the start they're hoping for at the moment, though.
No, as long as it doesn't spiral too far out of control. But I think you're bang on. Devilwalk's a good coach for that kind of a situation. He's always got a positive spin, a positive angle to it. And obviously, these guys have been through plenty of RMRs, these Guild Eagles players. They've caused massive upsets. They've been knocking on the door of majors. They've failed at the final hurdle. They've succeeded at the final hurdle. They understand the pressures that are going to come, and it's a long process, this Swiss system. So no reason to get too frustrated yet.
Yeah, you know it's major time when you're watching these guys on the server. We got to see him at a few LAN events last year as the bad news Eagles, and I say a few, I literally mean a few. We cast our minds back to the very start of the year in 2023. They played at the CCT finals in Malta. They made it to the grand final. Then they had a tournament in Melbourne at ESL Challenger, and they made the final there too, Jason. So this is definitely a team that can make deep runs at the sort of tier 2 level. And when they get to LAN.
This has been one of the fun teams that kind of watch pop off and rise up. And I think probably the most frustrating thing about it is, like you said, we don't get to see them at too many events because they do seem to have some cool play styles. They are an exciting team to watch. We all remember their clashes with FaZe at critical moments during RMRs in the past.
True.
Yeah, they've had some great games. So it's cool getting to see them again. We'll see what they can bring out. ENCE haven't made a decision yet. They've just gone through mid-control. But if GXX gets forced off the angle, all of a sudden you have no information there, and a split towards that A-bomb site is looking ever more likely.
Yeah, time's starting to run thin. And setting up the split, GXX changing his position, rotating the AWP to get ready on the A play. And Glaive comes through camera. Looking for a snapshot up towards heaven. It hasn't really worked out. GXX and sinnopsyy coming in with a double. An important kills in Kylar, keeping ENCE in this one. And that bomb plant is starting to come through. Hades lands the shot, but it's not enough damage to bring down Rigon. So they're focusing instead on the fight inside of the site. And it's Kylar again delivering kills. They know where OneFlatro is. He can't get into this round. And the second gun round, despite having a timeout, has not been picked up here for Guild Eagles. ENCE have a 5-0 lead, and it's looking very good for them.
I can't believe Hades just got out of that.
He's
just
wild, isn't he?
spamming the dualies. Spamming the dualies on the way, making sure the AWP can't be picked up with the bomb explosion, and OneFlatro is left with basically nothing to do. He's got Goofy to find if he can, and he will, but not get the kill.
Yeah, looking a little sleepy at the moment for Guild Eagles.
Well, that's the second time we've seen ENCE pull off an A split, leaving Hades with the AWP to watch for that mid rotation. So if you're Guild Eagles now, that's something you have to expect and have in the back of your head. Every time you shift between the B bomb site from Temple to the A bomb site, you have to expect there to be an AWP. It's going to slow things down, make them a little bit more cautious. It's been successful twice, obviously.
dycha's got a Mac 10 despite having plenty of money, so they probably have a great read as to what they're going up against.
He's still got that, he still learned from the book of Snappy. He loves those Mac 10s, and obviously a weaker buy.
Money.
Yeah, and you can be way more aggressive, so let's see him get into the party.
Rigon getting information a B early on with a little shoulder peek. Doesn't have the weapon to really compete at range, so drops back, trying to draw them into multiple pistols. Well, Flatro forced out of dark. I've recently watched a video recommended to me by Henry G. That Sticko uploaded to the YouTube channel recently.
Yeah, that kind of video.
Yeah, oh yeah. You know, that could have went multiple ways, I realized, at the start of that sentence, but it's a good one this time. And I was watching Sticko kind of give tips and tricks on Anubis, and a couple of them are fantastic. You know, how to get the fastest silent timing through water, lots of little micro
What was
mechanics.
your favorite? Give me your top one.
Yeah, just how to jump out of the water, how like your speed changes very slightly when you're running through water from 250 velocity to 237. So, you know, the fastest way to get to A, he's showing the pathing of like running across the bridge, jumping, clearing a bit of water, and then running up the ramp. So a couple of little details like that, and I would highly recommend checking it out if you want to become an Anubis god.
All right, well, Guild Eagles in this round being very aggressive whenever someone from ENCE is trying to make their way through a choke point. And once again, they've brought it down to a situation that is winnable.
It is definitely winnable, but the problem is that the weapon they pick up off the ground is a Mac 10, and that's gone. sinnopsyy walks into Glaive, they hit the pause button, and they don't panic, and ENCE now have the B-bomb site. So that's the danger averted.
Yeah, good heads-up play from Glaive, looking beneath him as well. sinnopsyy, if he wants to challenge for an exit kill, do some damage before the bomb goes off, wants to try and find something for the next round. Anything at this point. A little bit of extra free weapon would be great. But ENCE is looking solid. For all the questions we had about them, at least in these first 5 rounds, they've looked sharp. I mean, they've had some dominant gun rounds, and even when they've ran into some obstacles, they found the way out. Things are looking good. Yeah,
this was a talking point that Maniac put up on the desk, is the fact that the Guild Eagles are a very emotional team, especially on LAN and especially at the RMR tournaments that mean so much to them. But if you're ENCE and you can silence any of that, you give them nothing to shout about, nothing to get hyped about, you just keep it at this sort of monotone level, this could definitely help ENCE just build up a huge half here.
And in the context of, you know, we talk about the pressure of the situation of the qualification and how stressful it can be. We've heard players talk about it. We've seen the emotions come out of players. If this is basically, if the majors are basically the only event that you really compete in throughout the year, how much more pressure is that on your shoulders if things start going south? So I think this is going to get harder and harder for Guild Eagles until they catch some momentum.
Yeah, especially because they didn't have salaries in the years before. They've got one of those, and they're playing the organization. sinnopsyy forced off of the fountain with utility, tosses out a smoke to delay and push ENCE back.
I mean, look at the way ENCE has applied pressure, though. The dark smoke, so someone could be fast towards dark. They've thrown some utility into the B-bomb site. They've double-naded behind the pillar at the A-bomb site. So, I mean, they're showing presence at all different parts of the map at the moment, and that's going to be really hard to read where you put that extra player, where you put that rotator, who's GXX with the AWP.
Rigon doesn't feel comfortable just sitting back in the site, goes for a peek out of B main. Spots out Glaive, doesn't stay committed to the fight, goes out for a double dip, and he's punished for that. His hand is slapped away. And 45 seconds remain now, and Flatro is in a tough position. He either frags out or this round's done because his teammates are stacked towards A. Yeah,
they're too late on jumping on that information. He got it about 10, 12 seconds ago, and still nobody's arrived just yet. sinnopsy's going to show up at any moment, but a little lurk in from dycha. Goofy gets the kill, and now sinnopsyy cannot progress forward. This has to be a save as well, I think.
Yeah, they don't have the money, nor the resources to even go for a retake here in terms of utility. Being at a disadvantage for it, you can't risk losing these 3 weapons, so it's tough, but Guild Eagles have to save again, and we're looking at 7-0 for ENCE. The T side is looking fantastic.
There's only 8 kills on the map for Guild Eagles right now. They're losing so many initial battles, and I think a lot of those kills have actually come out when they've had deagles and pistols and save rounds as well. Like 4 or 5 of those have been in those kinds of rounds. So it's not pretty once the guns are on board and ENCE is challenging with the AKs. I think sinnopsyy might.
The hunt is on. Yeah, if they lose even one of these rifles, it makes this next round so difficult.
If you lose the AWP.
Yeah, if you lose the op, it's over. There's not much of a fight at all in the second round. Oh, repeat from GXX. He's given that op on over, and the only player to save is sinnopsyy with a rifle. So op is down. They don't have enough money to go for a force around this, really. So yeah, second timeout taken for Guild Eagles. They haven't got into Anubis here. No,
not at all. And I mean, Black kind of highlighted it right at the end of the death segment, going through the list of some of the teams that Guild Eagles has lost to on this map, mentioning Isilio, Ruby, teams that we also don't see a whole... Yeah, exactly. And it's not gone well. Looks like ENCE is like, they're taking out all the anger and frustration from getting 13-0. They're like, let's do it right back. Let's pass it on to somebody.
Dude, they only want to play 26 rounds today. What a day at the office that would be. Yeah, looking through ENCE's results, obviously back at the Katowice playoffs, they dodged Anubis. You haven't had to see too much of the ENCE game plan on Anubis. The last time they played, I believe, was against G2. It was a 13-7 win over G2 as well. So we know they're very comfortable on this map, especially on the T side. Showing a lot of prowess there.
And Glaive's calling a really good game so far, too. Like I mentioned, multiple pressure points on the map during a round, shifting between bomb sites really well, executing A splits, executing B splits really well. They've had pretty much everything they could have wanted. Obviously, part of that comes down to the fact that there's just not a whole lot of fragging output. Glaive with a chance.
Oh, that's the one rifle. They know where it is. They've seen the rifle towards camera. But the pistols look to unleash on the Danish in-game leader here, and Glaive has to handle it. Oh, he will. He absolutely will. So GXX and sinnopsyy thought they had the up on him, thought they had a chance with the pistols, but they don't. And now with so much time left and ENCE comfortably ahead on the player count, you don't have to run into anything just yet.
That was an awkward extended engagement for Glaive, and he handled it very well with his movement. sinnopsyy spots
shadow.
The shadow. He's only got 40 HP though. He goes down. Had to be an instant headshot, and all of a sudden it's just Regon and Juan Flatro.
Yeah, did invest lightly into these MP9s. They know they have the max loss bonus. But the Kevlar would be nice to save at this point. Don't know if they're going to get that chance though. dycha fighting dark. Nice shot from Juan Flatro. That MP9 can melt them, and that's the bomb down there. Goofy on the fight against Regon. Oh, Regon wins that duel, and suddenly it's back on. Suddenly this round reactivates.
This might be the sloppiest round from ENCE. 4-on-2, and they've given away 2 individual fights. One in dark, one in A main. They're going to be walking over, but it'll be smoked off. So, okay. Hades wants to blow it open and head right on through. Molotov, and here's the peak.
Got to be a slow rotation from Juan Flatro, so it has to be a step up for Regon, and it does go into a 1v1 fight off the back of that. So bomb plant coming through, Hades locking it in, smoke it out camera, and Juan Flatro with the AK-47 has made the quick rotation over, so he's in water, but Hades is starting to consider that A main play.
Kill came from dark on a dycha, so he knows.
Yeah, Juan Flatro, if he goes slow into this, oh, it's going to be death, and Hades reads it perfectly.
And once again, recovering in sketchy rounds is ENCE. They've done it a couple of times here, and this one almost slips away from them. Too many individual fights in the mid-round, but Hades and Glaive successfully traded out into 2v2. That's a big win. And they just keep climbing up the scoreboard. It's 8-0 now.
Yeah, this isn't the only game going on right now. There is a secondary stream being run, and that's GamerLegion versus Pera. The Hungarians up against the European mix. Looks like that's a closer game. At the moment, the action is with Henry G and Anders.
Glaive's loving this. Glaive is absolutely loving this.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about at the moment for Glaive. Guild Eagles have another bye.
It's funny seeing all the former Astralis teammates trying to qualify for this major in different scenarios, right? Magisk and Zonic have already failed to make it to the Copenhagen Major. Device still around challenging for it. Dupree still around challenging for it. Glaive's here. Everyone except Apeks.
Yeah, Apeks just hanging out nowadays. Just hanging around. sinnopsyy smoked away. Actually goes through the smoke. sinnopsyy likes to take a risk here and there, and it might pay off for him. dycha, oh, that's not a good flash. The flash misses for his teammate, and dycha thought he was about to get around that corner. Oh, sinnopsyy knows the utility's coming in to clear him out, so he activates before the molly lands at his feet and tries to get away, but the Molotov will burn his feet. And now 4v4 off the back of that initial play. 45 seconds remain in the round.
That's it. Oh, Hades has a chance. Oh, so does Glaive. They get a little bit discombobulated. Nice flashbang. Bomb is outside the B bomb site, though. It's on the other side of the map. So you have to imagine this is going to be ENCE coming back, 3 players through dark. Glaive might be ahead of the pack a little bit.
Yeah,
but they
30
want to end
seconds.
here at this B site.
Glaive is going through dark one. Flatro is being left in uncomfortable positions multiple times in this B bomb site, but this time he's got Rigon on the platform. Glaive sneaks underneath him, but Rigon able to react, then extends into the open and dies. So it is one Flatro from Ivy. He's going to poison Kylar. Goes for a second, couldn't quite double up. With 10 seconds left, ENCE have to pick that bomb up, and they've got enough time to get it down. So a 2v2 retake, the best chance we've seen from Guild Eagles in a while. There's no utility, but at least they're close by. We'll have some extra seconds to play with, and these ENCE players are damaged goods. It's dycha down first, and Hades has to clutch. Good peek from Dark. Gives away his position, but he goes for the re-peek, and Hades rips them apart.
Hades is an absolute monster with this op. Those are quick shots on the peaks, and he's just pulling it out when they're just transitioning forward. And again, he bails dycha out from a reposition that might have been ill-timed, ill-advised. But Hades as a player has had some incredible growth from his first stint on this ENCE roster to being the power piece of the 9 core that couldn't really make anything happen, get any deep tournament runs. And now here he's really starting to show things off. Beautiful op work so far in this map.
It's so good from Hades. 12-0. This is exactly the kind of performance you want to see from Hades. We've seen a positive uptrend in his performances back in Katowice, and it's continued into the RMR as Hades doesn't stop. Another kill, flank through middle, is quick from sinnopsyy. Hades misses the shot, and so that's the second kill from the MP9. Kylar and dycha make sure it's short-lived, and they pull it right back in favor of ENCE again.
Yeah, but if ENCE can win this round, it's all good, because this is the round that sends the signal that Guild Eagles have completely taken off the leash. Everyone is free to make some crazy aggressive plays. They're getting beat down. They just want to try and have some kind of success, trying to do everything they can to find it. Last 2 players get sprayed down, but now ENCE is on notice. Now ENCE know those plays are potential. They're possible.
You've gone through 2 timeouts already if you're Guild Eagles. And Devilwalker just has to sit behind them and look on in despair. His team yet to win a round here on Anubis, and they know how difficult the job gets when you go 0-2 down in the RMR. There's some great teams in Group B. To think how close they were versus MOUZ in the opening game. Maniac was touching this on the desk from the MOUZ point of view. The fact that they were able to recover that game. MOUZ find themselves in a much better seeding position, a much more comfortable position inside of the RMR. The other side of the story is you could be down 0-2 at the end of the day. And Kylar just aggressive through B main. It's Rigon that gets caught in the dry peak.
Yeah, it's so much confidence now from ENCE, and they can attack this in any which way they want to. Smoke didn't go as deep as Kylar would have liked, but it's all good. They've got a 5-on-4 advantage. And now on the other side of the map, sinnopsyy going to try and even things up, but Goofy is waiting.
There's no reason to overextend. Goofy should have this kill. So now he's coming close. That's going to be a chance for Goofy, but he doesn't react in time, and sinnopsyy hard clears it. Important fight to be picked up here for Guild Eagles.
dycha's in an awkward position because he could get flanked out from the A bomb site, so he's trying to find a little bit of safety. Towards mid is where Glaive has found an opening, crawls into the corner, and sinnopsy's got that. Good job from sinnopsyy in this round, recovering things, giving Guild Eagles a man advantage. Obviously, they have to win this round.
Yeah, they've been in these positions before in the half where they've been up a player. ENCE have always found the pathway back in, but this looks like their best chance yet.
I think this is going to fall into Kylar and dycha just coming to the A bomb site. They have Hades again in that posture in middle to cut off rotations with the op, as we've seen a number of times, and that information is going to pull people into his crosshair.
And sinnopsyy knows if he gets one more kill here, it'll make it very comfortable, but he doesn't go his way. And then look again, Hades is in the exact same position. We've seen him in so many times. Another shot for Hades. The Polish sniper is devastating Guild Eagles today. Second shot will not connect, but ENCE have been given the time to put the bomb down, and sinnopsyy does so much to get his team into a position where they can close on their first round of Anubis, and it still is pulled back by ENCE. GXX has to come in on the retake. And he can't make noise, he can't give away his position, so he has to stick with a FAMAS. At least dycha's low. That could be a kill as the timing does not favor dycha. Now the upgrade into the M4. 6 bullets in it. GXX is clearing heaven, clearing storage. There's no one there. And now switches to the AK. There's no time for this. He's got to run away. GXX cannot win the round. And from a 4v3 favoring Guild Eagles, it once again falls into the hands of ENCE.
Everything just falling apart for Guild Eagles. And one more time, you have the op in the position in middle, cutting off rotations. It makes it a really tough defense at the A bomb site. Absolutely fantastic work from ENCE on this map.
There is a reality today in which ENCE start by a 13 loss and finish the day with a 13-0 win. Now, I'm going to go out and say it.
It's probably
That was maybe the caster curse, but we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, you might have just ruined it actually. Now, yeah, well done.
Well, you know,
You're learning.
Guild Eagles fans might be a fan of me if that happens.
They might be happy with that.
All right, no secret about the play forward for ENCE. They're getting quick into A main, looking to pressure sinnopsyy. Flashes into the sky. They know it. He's at Fountain, but the flash still works out in sinnopsyy. That's a sick double kill. Hungry for a third, goes down. It's a 1 for 2. Does still favor Guild Eagles, but we've seen ENCE pull this round back just moments ago from a 3v4 deficit. Kylar's through middle. That could be huge. If he can get the backstab, there's no one in Temple. There's no one covering this off. So if he can get into camera swiftly, ENCE could still have a great split on their hands here. Synopsy's holding for it. Sinnopsyy has to turn though, and Goofy's got that kill on him. GXX spotted towards heaven. He has to fall back. He doesn't have the weapon to compete, doesn't have the weapon for close quarter combat, and is waiting for the rotation of his teammates to come through. It's a long way off, and GXX is down. Yet another 4v3 favoring Guild Eagles going the other way, and this is the last round of the half. They have to go for it. Rigon with the headshot, sees the second player, couldn't quite capitalize on that opportunity, and now Rigon is the only player left, and he has crossed out. What a half from Hades, what a half from ENCE. 12-0, they haven't lost a round.
What's Hades at now, like 16-2? I think it's some 15-2, 16-2, absolute beatdown, and you can just see he's just stunned on the Guild Eagles. That is not at all what they expected coming into this map. And caught very much off guard. Fantastic play from ENCE throughout the entire half. So many rounds recovered, so many issues overcome. And that's the face of someone who knows he's going to be starting out this RMR campaign 0-2 after just one day.
Yeah, Guild Eagles are a tenacious team. We've seen that many a time, but you realize you're in Group B. This is the group of death. This is the group that has so many top sides that can find themselves in the elimination games. And once you go 0-2, just look how many best of threes you have to win to get through to the major.
Against some really, really strong teams as well. We better see a different Guild Eagles showing up tomorrow. That's a 3v5 recovered, and that's not even like tactically recovered. That is them trading and doing a great job of juggling aggression, but they never masked the fact that they were going to head to the A bomb site.
They really struggled amid that whole half. I think ENCE just toyed with them through that position.
They struggled everywhere. A kind of got locked down later on. sinnopsyy was doing a good job of getting multi-kills, but that's about it.
Well, this is it. The fight for a 13-0. ENCE have to defend a B hit. Smoke is down at B main. Goofy puts his dual Berettas in behind it. We know they can often unleash a massacre when Flatro starts off with a double entry. Guild Eagles now a 5v3. Nice shot back from Hades.
Yeah, well, we've seen him lose these before. Hades still alive behind the smoke, which is very dangerous. He knows there's one in jail. Smoke's about to clear. Dia's going to have a chance on the jump back and can't land the kill.
Dia clears out default. Good shot from Rigon. Couple of kills coming back for ENCE, in particular from Hades and Kylar, but it will not be the 13-0. ENCE will have to play a few more rounds here, but Guild, they win the pistol, they survive that embarrassment.
That's good layering of flashbangs as well for Guild Eagles as they come through that smoke. That defensive smoke deployed as soon as utility rains over the wall could have just stopped them cold and been an absolute disaster, but they do a really good job throwing flashbangs as the execution is coming, as people are jumping through that smoke, making sure that anyone taking the fights is completely blinded. Neutralize the dualies.
So this is going to be another round for Guild Eagles. No secrets, has to be absolutely perfect. They need a 12-0 half themselves to get us just into overtime. Just got to play round by round. Oh my god, USP is finding kills. It's a 3v3 off the back of that.
Yeah, the A bomb site is open though. There's no one even attending it. Kylar's gonna get back and he's
got the AK.
Oh, look at this low HP as well for Hades. That could be massive, but this AK needs to do something. Needs to hold this off. There's no armor as well, so Kylar's got to be very careful.
Yeah, Kylar does have to be careful, but it's a 1v1 fight up against sinnopsyy. GXX has made his way through B. He can actually maybe start a flank through Temple because he's calling for his teammates to come up with a bomb through Dark. And he is going to start taking that risk and going through the Temple. He needs to be very careful. He's so low. Good shot on Hades. That's one step back in the right direction here for Guild Eagles.
Yeah, but this is still painful. Losing 2 AK-47s like this, handing those over to ENCE is good stuff for the CT side. They're going to try and save them. Sinnopsyy not overextending, not peeking towards bridge, so they should be able to cross. Nice adjustment from Guild Eagles as well. All that resistance at the A bomb site, the AK-47 dueling, and they find the escape route on the other side of the map. So it's 12-2, and still with obviously 10 more chances to close out the map, and the 2 AK-47s are going to give them an extra buy somewhere in this half if things are continually going south.
I mean, at this point, we shouldn't even entertain the reality of a comeback just yet. So most likely outcome here is Guild Eagles go 0-2 at the RMR on day one. Now, we have seen this team be 0-2 in the major systems before. If you remember back to Rio, it was 0-2 down. They faced against FaZe Clan, the defending champions coming out of Antwerp into the Rio Major. And it was Bad News Eagles at the time who eliminated FaZe in that 0-3 game and went on a tiny bit of a run. And we know in the RMRs last time on the road to Paris, they didn't have the hottest starts. There was overtime losses, and they were still able to recover and get through. But, I mean, getting 0-2 on day one is not the place you want to be for any team.
No, it makes it obviously, I mean, the chances of qualifying just decrease, but just in general, you know, it compounds the stress that you're already feeling. Sinnopsyy going to try and take some space with the MAC-10, content to just drop some utility, going to make Kylar a little bit nervous. But he's just a distraction. And now he's going to back away. Guild Eagles falling into a B hit. 3 players outside B main. Glaive and Goofy to defend.
The first big hurdle of the second half for Guild Eagles. B split being set up. 3 players out through B main, 2 through dark.
I don't know what's happening on the map, though. They don't really have all that good of information. Dia's making a read right now with that utility coming out, so he's going to shift over, and with a little bit of defensive utility, he might arrive just in time.
ENCE looking to close out their second match of the day, this time with a victory over Guild Eagles. Defending the B bomb site through the smoke, it's Goofy. 6 shots from sinnopsyy, 2 through the smoke. One on Glaive. dycha, the rotator, is dead without even getting a fight, and they've already moved through the CT smoke. It's traded by Hades, and a 2v3. Do ENCE want to go for this one? They've got plenty of rounds to play with. They've only got 1 flash for this retake attempt.
Looking for a mistake. They don't have kits either, so they're hoping somebody peeks out, and that would be their prompt forward. But if they don't get it, this is going to be them slowly backing away, and already that time has pretty much ticked to the point of no return. So 3 rounds for Guild Eagles, and again, good utility on this B hit. Molotovs forcing the defenders into uncomfortable positions, good flashbangs, great smokes, obviously. They think they caught a really nice timing where ENCE had just shifted out of the bomb site and were coming back. So they caught the defense a little bit unprepared.
Yeah, it's expensive still for Guild Eagles on the way out here. Kylar just spotted on the beach. It could be every weapon, in fact, falling out of the hands here for ENCE, and it will be. So no AK saved over. Not the best money for the Polish team either here, so a bit more leeway, a bit more room to grow here for Guild Eagles.
Remember, they had those 2 saved AK-47s, though, so there's a little bit of trickery they can pull out if they want to bust out, you know, a surprise weapon in this round.
So you can maybe get a hybrid, couple of rifles, pistols, Kevlar, and still have enough money to purchase in the next round. That's obviously great when you get 2 kills like that if you're sinnopsyy, because you did get dycha rotating over just in time. So you had 3 players on the defense, and you eradicate 2 of them without even having a fair fight. So great stuff from sinnopsyy, and there's that buy you hypothesized. The rifle, MP9 pistols out for ENCE. This is still a round you can lose if you're Guild Eagles.
Absolutely. And at the moment, ENCE want to try and find an opening pick to someone creeping into mid-map control. It's not going to be there for dycha. And that M4 is going to be the mobile weapon on the map for ENCE. Shifting over to the B bomb site on timing. Meanwhile, Guild Eagles, 4 players headed towards A main. Just going to be an execute. It's only Hades here. And we'll likely see a save from the remaining ENCE members.
Kylar just around the corner in middle. It's going to start dropping back. His utility being used up towards A. We'll signal to ENCE the attack is coming through that. They're not really in a position to fight it. So bomb goes down. That'll be the round here for Guild Eagles. GXX dueling versus the dark players. Now he's taking too much damage. He can no longer stand and fight, so he'll drop away and send sinnopsyy in instead.
At 5'7", doing some work at range. Outdueling the AK-47. sinnopsyy looking for some bonus cash. He'll get taken down from behind. Kylar with a nice easy kill.
Time taking on this. No kits for ENCE. Otherwise, maybe they pounce on that with the 2 players close to the A bomb site. but no chance to defuse, no chance to win the round, and we're looking at 12-4. Guild Eagles looking to try and make this scoreline more respectable. It is just very unfortunate they lose to have 12-0. I mean, it makes it almost impossible to come back into this.
For sure. Even though they have a T side that's looking like a pretty decent run at it, putting some good rounds on the board. But I mean,
imagine like they would just win them even 2 or 3 rounds. Some margin for error is there at least. But
that's Counter-Strike, baby.
That is Counter-Strike, especially in MR12. It can be so brutal in the best of ones. Because if this is a best of 3, you know, you can talk about big Guild Eagles, maybe just getting warmed up on map 1, maybe it's a different story for the second map, but the reality of the situation is you have one bad half and a best of 1 MR12, and you can just be out of the game already.
All right, Glaive. Deep smoke towards stairs. Should be a
very noisy.
Good indication of what's coming. Sinnopsyy rotates back around. Goofy's pushed up as well.
Sinnopsyy didn't see it.
Oh, he doesn't peek down bridge. He doesn't peek out the window at all, so he has no idea.
Well, now Glaive gets away. He's got Goofy into the cubby. Sinnopsyyy's uncomfortable about that.
Sinnopsyyy's going to clear that, though, surely. It looks like he's very aware.
But if he comes into that angle, if he goes too wide, then Glaive is there. And splash in the water. Oh, very good job for Sinnopsyy to get away with that. Goofy, if he had had a second more to react, he would have had a fight against him. And the repositioning for Guild, they're going back over to this B play, and they know exactly where Glaive is because of that kill. So Guild Eagles should be favored in terms of getting into this B bomb site before the full rotation is in.
Glaive has no utility. He has nothing to stall or slow this out. He's got a teammate coming up, that's Kylar, but he's going to be smoked off, so it's going to have to be luck for him.
It's a strong
Glaive,
position.
Meanwhile, can double kill with a low HP player.
Yeah, it's a very strong position, and there's no one from Dark. Obviously, Glaive doesn't know that, but he has to just focus on the fight in front of him, and he doesn't get a single kill on that push through B main. So traded by Kylar. Rigon will punish Kylar's backswing from the platform, and now the bomb is down. ENCE going for a 2v3 retake. The MP9 is pretty close by. If dycha dies here, Hades is still in a position to save his op.
Dycha's very low.
Yeah, it doesn't look likely here for a retake for ENCE.
Yeah, again, I think this is hope for a mistake. Hope that dycha can capitalize, but likely to back away is Hades with the op, especially now. dycha's gone down, preserve the weapon. So ENCE, after a 12-0 half, is having a little bit of difficulty closing this out, but they still got plenty of runway.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the ENCE side having struggles on the CT side. We know it's definitely their weaker affair. But when you have such a strong T side, you kind of get past that.
Yeah.
They only need to win 1 round on the CT side, a single round, and you still got to believe at some point that's going to come through. But Guild Eagles, it's a nice T side here in the second half.
It's good to see them like still communicating and focus as well too. Like that push could have thrown him into haywire, but sinnopsyy knew the whole time that somebody had pushed up, or sinnopsyy, whichever one was over in rugs, that knew very much what that kind of smoke at the stairs meant and how to deal with it. So just waits patiently, bides his time, and clears out the aggression.
First time out, forced out of ENCE. Kubin will have his say on the mic. So a lot of money on Glaive, so he can drop out across the board here. Hades obviously saves, so he can drop a weapon.
Oh, it's another buy for sure coming in for ENCE, and the timeout just to calm him down and tell him there doesn't need to be any stress. Let's just get this round done with. Let's get this map done with. Let's end our day. And it's round 18.
Interesting talking points on the desk before this game too about Glaive having to give some trust over to the ENCE players because eventually they switch into Polish in certain rounds, and he has to just kind of sit back. I don't know what you're saying, but I have to believe in you to try and close this round together. It is a very strange dynamic, and we were intrigued to see how it was going to work. It is worth noting as well, ENCE didn't put the team together to make a big run at Katowice. They didn't expect to be the first Polish team in 8 years to make it into the SPOTIC, right? But it was all about getting the core of 9 because they got an RMR spot. This is the event they put it together with the objective of getting through this. Let's see if ENCE can get the job done. Back to a buy again. sinnopsyy applying pressure towards Goofy. That smoke is going to come out and keep him behind it.
Much more clumped up for Guild Eagles to start this round.
It's a bit of a change for ENCE.
Everyone towards the A bomb site. All 5 players waiting outside A main.
Yeah, it is a bit of an aggressive setup from ENCE now. They got the op with a deep angle into A main. Kylar's pushing forward with it.
I think their timing was screwed up by that smoke, though. They've started kind of backing away to apply pressure elsewhere to make sure that ENCE can't get a good read of what's coming.
So Kylar, if he swings into the open here, it's going to be a dead man. sinnopsyy spams him down. Hades' op is detected. And Guild Eagle's not chasing after the sniper just yet. Good trade for ENCE to keep it even at 4v4. 45 seconds left, and that bomb is leaving A. Running past Rugs to top middle, trying to get into the B bomb site. Goofy from the back of the platform has now got Glaive on the rotation, but Glaive is cancelled out by that smoke, so it's all Goofy. And he's left in an island on his own and does not step up with a kill. ENCE's B defense has been terrible. I mean, they have not been able to get initial kills from this B defense at all.
They haven't been attacked really directly outside of the pistol round, I think, is the problem, is that timing of when they're shifting out and coming back, they're kind of getting beat. Guild Eagles is doing a good job of having smokes in the choke points for the rotation back. They're getting pulled away towards middle, pulled away towards the A bomb site, and then just left weakened with very little resources to handle these late round attacks. And yeah, you're exactly right. Guild Eagles have found a weakness and they're exploiting it to maximum effect.
And we haven't seen ENCE even get in a position that looks like a realistic retake at this point. So if you just hit B 12 rounds in a row, maybe we have got overtime. Dycha might go down here.
It's interesting they're getting pulled out so much too, because Guild Eagles haven't really attacked mid in any way. It's been pressure towards the A bomb site, but mid has never been an issue. We haven't really seen Guild Eagles break in and have mid control and split one of the bomb sites. Dycha hasn't really been tested there at the double doors.
This round, they try and activate Hades. They try and get the AWP in. Early doors, try and find that opening out towards A main. Got blocked out by the smoke. Didn't exactly go to plan for ENCE. And because there was so much heavy commitment spotted towards A, you could see Guild Eagles felt comfortable attacking the B bomb site, even though the bomb wasn't with the pack. So now it's MP9s, 5-7, still the AWP of Hades, who's just perpetually saving in this half.
Yeah, he's been able to kind of chill. 5 deaths across the map so far, because for a lot of these retakes in the second half, he hasn't really contended for them. Just not the possibility. They want to get aggressive. They've got Regon locked in, missed AWP shot. Glaive, he's gonna swing. Hades watching the deep angle, he's got that one. Deagle's out, flashbang blinds both, but Regon handles business.
Good kill from Goofy. Sinnopsyy will fall away inside of Dark. It's a quick kill for ENCE to draw this back to a 3v3, but they're looking to try and finish this round on the A site, Guild Eagles, which puts pressure on Kylar. And he plays close around that smoke with the MP9. It'll fade away now, and he has no cover, but GXX, it's wild. It's a wild maneuver as he runs into the MP9. They traded eventually, but a 2v2 now. Guild Eagles, is this the round that slips away from them? They needed a flawless T-side, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. sinnopsyy inside of the site, trying to stay alive here, but it's not going to happen for them. ENCE with a 13-6 victory, a 12-0 first half, and they will close out this day with a 1-1 scoreline.
It took a minute, but yeah, no matter how sketchy your CT side is, you get 12 map points to play with, and you're going to find one eventually. Not a bad TF from Guild Eagles, but it all falls apart. Back to the...